Hello everyone. The topic I want to talk about today is games in ESL classroom. I'm sure that every one of us has once used games in our lesson plans and in our teaching. Because games are fun, so it's very easy for us to use games to get students interested in our activities, and learners are always ready and willing to play games. However, there are more factors that affect our choice in games that used in classroom. So today I want to provide more details about games and our ESL classroom. When I choose a game to conduct in my classroom, I often think of 4 criteria. The first thing is that games have to be fun, of course. We don't need to put any stress on fun on games because it's fun. It helps create the favorable environment for our students to speak out their idea, to cooperate with other members in groups or partners. So it must be fun. When it is fun, the student will feel more comfortable when participating in class activity. The second criteria is the applicability. So games have to be applicable. Applicability here means that we have to choose the appropriate level of difficulty of games for specific students' level and age. For example, we cannot just choose the too easy games for our advanced learners because they will finish the games in a very short time and do another stuff. And it can make the games very bored. Or we cannot choose the too hard game for our low-level students because too difficult games discourage our low-level students to engage in class activity because they cannot feel the sense of completion. And the next one is the competitiveness of the games. Some games you have to push the high competitiveness, but some games you should encourage the cooperation among students more. And the last one, in every games we should put a reward to the games so that students have the motivation to participate and complete the games. And I love using games in my classroom because I can see there are many benefits of games. The first one is that games are a welcome break from the usual routine of the language class. Sometimes we just talk about grammar rules or explain something from our reading, and it's very bored. Students may feel sleepy. So some games, especially the physical games, can help them have a break. And the next one is that games are motivating and challenging. It's like when you have some challenge, you have the motivation to finish that task. And the third one is that learning a language requires a great deal of efforts. So games help students to make and sustain the effort of learning. They can use what they already acquired to accomplish the game, so they can have the sense of victory. And next, games provide language practice in the various skills like I have mentioned before: speaking, writing, listening, reading, or vocabulary. And games encourage students to interact and communicate, not only between teachers and students, but among students. And games create a meaningful context for language use. So now I will introduce you to some of my favorite games that I usually use in my classroom. The first one is Hangman. I think Hangman is a very interesting activity we can use to improve student vocabulary. And the second activity is the role play, and the activity here I use is giving directions. And the last one, this is for maybe the bigger groups or maybe the whole class to participate in the activity, is the human knot. Now, the first one is the hangman. Hangman, I think is very traditional games, but my students are very interested in playing this game. Because when I ask them to play these games, they have to memorize, they have to recall, to review their vocabularies a lot. So we can use this game to play individually or groups, and students have to take turns to guess a letter or a word. For a blank, you can give them the blank of a word or a sentence to ask them guess. And who has an incorrect answer each time will be hung a body part. Like maybe the first time is the head, the next time is body, and the next is right arm, and so on. So when they are hung all the body, they will lose. And the guessers wins if they can guess the word before their man is hung. I think this is very interesting games. An easy game, you do not need to prepare any materials. You just need a board and chalk or markers. And the next one is role play. And this one I have asked my students to play, and they are very excited with this activity. I use the giving direction activity. I asked two students to play this game. One will be the visitor and one will be the tour guide. And the visitor have to cover their eyes, and the student who is a tour guide has to give clear and correct direction to the visitor. And the visitor have just, because their eyes are covered, they have to listen very carefully to the tour guide and draw the way to the place they choose. And I have the rules that the visitor hit any buildings on their way, the tour guide will lose their games, or they don't have the point of that game. And the winner is the one who helps the visitor get to the destination in the shorter time, and the visitor does not hit any buildings. So they have to try to give clear direction. And I think this one, they have to use all their speaking and listening, and also they have to recall the way of giving direction. And this is very fun. And the next one is the human knot. I once asked our class to play this game, and as you can see, you have to interact and communicate a lot with your friends. And I think it depends on the size of the class. You can ask your whole class to play this game, or you can divide them into teams and compete together. So here are some steps that we can use to conduct this game. And the key thing, I think the key thing is not about that student have to solve the problem. But the key thing students have to understand that they have to how to use their communication skills effectively to solve the problem. So as you can see from this activity, students not only learn how to communicate but learn how to solve the problem. It's combined many different skills together. And after carry out many games in our classroom, so I have some tips for you when you want to carry out any games in your classroom. The first thing is that you should help students help out with preparation for the games. I think especially with the younger learner, they are very willing to take part in the creative activities. They want to help out. And the next one is that you should limit groups of 4 or 5 students, because it can give them the chance to do the activity, because we have very limited time for each activity. So the small group of students can give each student chance to do the activity, and they don't have to wait a very long time to their turns. And when you play the games, you want to play the games or you want to do any activity, you should model the activity. You can ask 1 or 2 students to demonstrate in front of the class. And this is my favorite part, is that after every activity, you should ask students what they have learned from the activity. I think it's very useful because students have to think about the games, think about the activity, why they have to do that activity, beside the fun they have, but also they learn something about their skills. And I hope that my presentation could provide you some information or some useful tips for your activity. So, thank you very much.